Hi, today I'll be talking about how did the NHL team get their names. So there's a lot of NHL teams, so let's get over. So we'll start with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Toronto Maple Leafs got its name because on the Canada flag there's a maple leaf, so they said the Toronto Maple Leafs because on the thing of the maple leaf on the Canadian flag there's like a maple leaf, so they called it the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this one is very difficult, is the Philadelphia Flyers. So the Flyers are from Philadelphia, but they're called the Flyers because a flyer is someone who flies a plane. So next we will be talking about the Boston Bruins. So I don't know how they got the name, but I know the definition of Bruins. It's like a bear, You can Google Bruins. If it doesn't show you, if it just shows you the hockey team, just write Bruin Bear, then it'll show you what the bear looks like. So, and then this one, it's a bit hard too, but the Florida Panthers. This one's hard, but the reason why they're called the Panthers, because a panther is like a jungle cat. It's like a jungle cat it's like a jungle cat located in Florida. That's why they're called it. Then this one, it's a bit hard, but the Tampa Bay Lightning. So the Lightning was named the Lightning because they wanted to find a very good name for a team from Florida. So they called it the Tampa Bay Lightning. That just went in the background, just ignore it. Then we'll be now talking about the Buffalo Sabres. So a saber is like a sword, but like you might be thinking about what sword, like in Star Wars it's called the lightsaber. So saber's a sword, so that's why it's a saber, not because of the Star Wars, because it's like a sword. And you might get this, you might notice from Star Wars, a saber is a sword. So if saber wasn't a word, then it would have been called light swords. Next, we'll be talking about the Detroit Red Wings. So a red wing is a bird. You didn't know that, because a red wing is a bird. So they're not called Red Wings. So if you Google Red Wing, it won't give you the result. It'll give you the hockey team. So you have to look up red-winged blackbird. That's how they got their name. So yes, there is Red Wings. Not just in Detroit, but it's in other cities. But they thought it was a good idea. So now we'll be talking about the Ottawa Senators. So a senator, it's like a politician, and a politician is like someone who works for the government, or someone who helps the government, yeah. So now we'll be talking about the Montreal Canadiens. So a Canadian is someone born in Canada. So why are they called the Habs? Because in French, they're called the Les Habitants. But in English, they wanted to so they shortened the name for Habs. Next is the North Carolina Hurricanes. But they used to be called the Hartford Whalers. A whaler is like someone who hunts fish. I mean, not hunts fish, hunts whales. but they moved to Carolina and wanted to be called the North Carolina Hurricanes. And hurricane's like a big storm that comes out of the ocean, and that's what it is. So next we'll be talking about the New York Rangers. So a ranger's like someone who is like a police officer, it's a police officer. So this is a really fun fact that the owners it was named by the same owner of the Texas Rangers. So the same owner of the Texas Rangers named them the New York Rangers. And next, we'll be talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. So this name, it's actually really tough, but the Penguins are just called the Penguins because they like the name. So this one, there's a couple of interesting ones coming. So you'll be looking forward for that. And now we'll be moving on to the Washington Capitals. So what is a capital? So Washington is the capital of the USA. So in Washington, they wanted to call them the Washington Capitals because it's actually, I kind of like that because in soccer, they're called the capitals of the country, so kind of matches that. So next, we'll be talking about the New York Islanders. So what is an islander? So an islander is someone who lives on an island. So pretty sure because there's like their stadium is called Long Island, so they called it the New York Islanders after someone who lives on an island. So next, this one's pretty interesting, and it's actually tough. And the first time I heard the name Columbus Blue Jackets, I thought it was just like a jacket. But a jacket, it's kind of like a soldier. It's a soldier called Blue Jackets, so they called it the Blue Jackets. So next, and this one's pretty interesting, the New Jersey Devils. So it's like they got the name Devils because of mythology, and that's why they're called the Devils. Now we'll be talking about the Colorado Avalanche. So this one's technically interesting. So they used to be called the Quebec Nordiques. What's a Nordique? A Nordique means northern in French. So they moved to Colorado and became the Colorado Avalanche. And an avalanche is like a snow coming out from a mountain, and there's like Rocky Mountains in Colorado, so they called it the Colorado Avalanche. It's similar to the baseball team called the Rockies, so it's a good name. Next, we'll be talking about the Minnesota Wild. So this one's kind of tough, but I guess it's just wild because it's wild. I don't know. But I like the baseball team name more because it makes more sense. So next, we'll be talking about the Blues. So what's a blue? It's not because of the color of their uniform. It's like there used to be this song called the St. Louis Blues, so they called that team St. Louis Blues. Pretty interesting. So next is the Dallas Stars. So this one is similar to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're called the Stars because on the American flag, they're stars, so they named the team after the flag. So next, we'll be talking about the Nashville Predators. So a predator's like a dangerous animal. So next is the Jets. So a jet, it's like a plane. They just went with the name, I don't know why, but it's a creative name. It's like they just thought it's a proper name for the team. Next is the Chicago Blackhawks. So a Blackhawk is a bird, but their logo is like of the first owner who named the team the Blackhawks. So they remain as the Blackhawks today. Next, we'll be talking about the Coyotes. So there's deserts in Arizona where coyotes like to hang around, so that's why they call that the Coyotes. So the Calgary Flames, they weren't always the Calgary Flames. They used to be called the Atlanta Flames, but the reason why they have the Flames, because a building in Atlanta burned down, so they called it the Flames. They moved to Calgary, kept the name Flames, and they remain as the Calgary Flames today. Next is the Oilers. They used to be called the Alberta Oilers, but they wanted to make it more sense and called it Edmonton Oilers. So an oiler is like someone who makes oil, and that's why they're the Oilers. Next is the Kings. So a king, I thought they just wanted a good name for a team, so they just called it the Kings. I actually like it. It's a good name for a team. Next, we'll be talking about the Knights. So this one too, it's like proper team name. That's what it is. Next is the Canucks. So a Canuck is like someone born in Canada, after someone named John Canuck, who was a famous Canadian, and they called them the Vancouver Canucks after John Canuck. Next is the San Jose Sharks. So this one too, it's like one of those names who just think it's a proper name. It's a proper name for a team. Second last, the Anaheim Ducks. So a duck, I like their logo. It's like a secret in it. So a duck is like a animal. So I think you know that. But a duck, the only reason why they called, a duck, because maybe because of the movie, The Mighty Ducks, but on their logo, this is a secret. I think it's like a lily pad, but might be a D. But if you look inside of it, it kind of looks like a duck foot to me. It kind of looks like a duck foot. So I Googled it, and it kind of looked like a duck foot. So that might be their logo. Last but not least, the newest team in the NHL, the Seattle Kraken. So a kraken is a sea monster. Sea monster named Krakens. So they wanted to name the team the Seattle Krakens. So hope you enjoyed my video. Now you know all the teams. See you next time on the channel. We'll be talking about baseball, basketball, what else? And football. So see you next time. Bye.